The eye in the sky that never blinks. Once, in a quiet village nestled between tall, whispering mountains, there lived a young boy named Kael. The village was small, with cobblestone streets and houses built from dark timber. The people there were kind but cautious, for they knew the mountains held secrets, some wonderful, some terrifying. Kael was curious by nature, always asking questions no one could answer. He often climbed the hills behind his home to gaze at the stars. His grandmother warned him, "The sky watches us, child. Do not stare too long, or it might stare back." Kael laughed, thinking it was just an old tale. But one night, as he lay on the grass counting constellations, he saw something strange. High above, where the stars twinkled like distant candles, one light did not flicker. It was a single, unblinking eye, a pale, glowing orb that did not move like the others. Kael sat up, heart pounding. He rubbed his eyes, thinking it was a trick of the light. But the eye remained, watching him. The next morning, Kael told his grandmother what he had seen. Her face turned pale. "You have seen the eye in the sky," she whispered. "It is old, older than the mountains. It watches and waits, but no one knows for what." Kael could not forget the eye. Night after night, he returned to the hill, and each time the eye was there, always watching. The villagers began to notice changes. Crops withered without reason. Animals grew restless, refusing to sleep. And the children of the village dreamed the same dream, a vast, lidless eye floating in a black sea, staring into their souls. One evening, an old traveler arrived in the village. His cloak was ragged, and his staff was carved with strange symbols. The villagers gathered around him, hoping for answers. The traveler listened to their fears and nodded gravely. "The eye is awake," he said. "Long ago, it was sealed away by those who knew its power. But it has found a way to watch the world again." Kael stepped forward. "Why is it watching us?" The traveler sighed. "The eye seeks a way back into our world. It feeds on fear, and the more you fear it, the stronger it becomes." The villagers trembled. "What can we do?" The old man looked at Kael. "There is one way. Someone must climb the highest peak where the sky touches the earth and face the eye. But beware, those who look directly into it are never the same again." Kael knew what he had to do. That night he packed a small bag with bread, a flask of water, and a lantern. His grandmother hugged him tightly. "Come back to me," she whispered. The journey was long and treacherous. The mountains were unforgiving, with jagged rocks and icy winds. But Kael pressed on, driven by the thought of his village suffering. After days of climbing, he reached the summit. Above him, the sky was vast and endless. And there, in the center of the darkness, was the eye. It was larger now, its pale light casting eerie shadows. Kael felt its gaze like a weight on his chest. He took a deep breath and spoke. "Why do you watch us?" A voice, slow and ancient, echoed in his mind. "See all. I remember all. Fear is my doorway." Kael clenched his fists. "We will not fear you anymore." The eye pulsed, its light flickering. "You are brave, but bravery is rare." Kael stood firm. "Leave this place. You do not belong here." For a long moment there was silence. Then, slowly, the eye began to fade. The light dimmed and the sky seemed to sigh in relief. The stars returned to their gentle twinkling and the night felt peaceful once more. Exhausted, Kael descended the mountain. When he returned to the village, the people rejoiced. The crops grew strong again, the animals slept soundly, and the nightmares ceased. But Kael was changed. Sometimes, in the quiet hours of the night, he would look up at the sky, not with fear, but with understanding. He knew the eye was still out there, somewhere in the vast unknown. And though it never blinked, it had learned something that night too. Even the smallest light of courage could drive back the deepest darkness. And so, the village lived in peace, remembering the lesson Kael had brought them. The sky still watched, but now they watched back. Not with fear, but with quiet strength. The end.